Hello YouTube, or as sweet little Violet says, hello MeTube. Smurfinelli's beautiful little daughter, a sweet little girl. So, welcome back to another episode of Tamper Talk. Been busy with life, a lot of things going on, work, my other job. Haven't done anything new and exciting, but I do have some ideas. The wheels have been turning. So, my dad is a taxidermist. He's recently had some health issues, but I was over at his house building him some ramps to get around a little better, and he's had a stroke, so he's going through the rehabilitation thing, so the ramps. But anyway, so I was out in his shop using one of his tools, and I saw like that much of an antler. And I've seen them. I've seen the antler tampers. But I've just seen like the antler tampers. Just something like this and tamp, dawdle, dawdle, dawdle. Well, I mean, that's cool. If that's what you're into, that's cool. Obviously, by my wording, I think it's kind of plain. And I like plain. This is a very plain tamper. It's a pocket tamper, super plain, simple, easy. But it's it's got curves, it's got shapes. And again, if you're into the antler tamper, perfect. Nothing wrong with that. You're actually going to love this episode. Saved it. So, our beloved Doc Bravo, housekeeping. Doing the Bean's favorite, Savinelli shape, Bean's favorite, rusticated, beautiful, beautiful pipe. Oh yeah, I smoke it. And in it, the big and burly Cornell and Deal, the delicious tobacco. Good stuff. So, I saw a chunk of an antler, the tip of an antler, and I got the wheels started turning, and I was like, oh. It's like, what would be pretty cool? To take the tip of an antler, antler tamper, and to, incorporate wood on the end of it. Spruce it up like you see the guys making pipes, olive wood piper, PPS, Jordan. I've seen several people do it. I can't remember. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. They make the acrylic stem, and then with extra acrylic, they'll put just a piece of wood on the end of it, epoxy it, whatever, on the end of the acrylic, and turn that into a tamper. And that's fine and dandy too. Great. But I've never seen it done with an antler. I'm sure it has. Everything's been done. There's nothing new under the sun. So, I have, my dad, he gave me a box full of antler sheds, or just antlers, that people have brought him, that he's found. Some of them are, I'm not just going to show antlers, but so he would cut the tips to prepare other ones, being a taxidermist. But so I have some options here. Something like this. kind of gnarly, little brow tine. You know, cut it off about like yay. It's got character. Got a little here. Cut it off, and I have glued pieces of wood together, walnut and Osage orange. You know, put it like yay, whatever. I don't know. And I got enough here, you know, to make several tampers with. Something like that. Something like that would be a little bit challenging because they need to stay fairly thin, and some of these deer, some of these deer antlers kind of get pretty big. And some of them would be short. I mean, obviously you can't use them all, but like this one would be great. Two on there, and it's curved, you know. They curve up about the right size that you want to tamper there at the end, and epoxy some, you know, some wood on it. What I'd do is drill a hole, kind of like how he would do it. Probably drill a hole in the end of the antler, you know, and then cut a chunk of the wood, you know, accordingly. And then drill a hole in this and probably like get a wood screw. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, you know, get them both flat to where they'd seat up against each other and they'd, you know, be virtually seamless. And just play around with it. And get a wood screw, cut the wood screw off, you know, on the head side, and make it pointy and screw them both together, you know, with epoxy. Because I think if you just tried to do that, eventually it might come off. I would be afraid to send that out to somebody. So just make sure that it doesn't come off. And get the Dremel. Get the Dremel out and go to town. By the way, old trusty broke. I am out a belt disc sander. I turned it on, it still works, but like this, the top, I don't know if you can see it moving. Yeah, you can see that moving. It ain't supposed to move like that. I mean, it does. It goes up and down. Wow, I didn't try that. It's not supposed to do that. But that table does go up, and it's got the belt sander on top and then the disc here. But behind me is the outlet in this corner, and there was a bunch of wires wrapped up, and I was pulling this fan out, and I didn't realize it. And this is sitting on two pieces of wood, two boards, you know, and the boards slid. The sander has got rubber feet, so it stayed on one board, but the other board just slid, and I didn't even notice it. And next thing I know, whack, and it was landed on, it was upside down. And I knew it was not going to be the same. Like, it's got this plastic piece right here that went up and curled around, and you hook the vacuum up right here, you know, to collect the dust. And that's how, this is a valuable piece of equipment. It saves so much time, and time is money. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, I'm going to have to get a new one. That's what I'm going to have to do, but... Oh. So, I guess I'll try to sell some Tampers here. And got some pretty gnarly looking antlers. This brow tine. I just got knobs all over it. That's kind of cool. Maybe incorporate a piece of wood into that, make, you know, shape the wood to where it's kind of going with the knots on it. So it's called a brow tine because it's on the brow, and these are tines. I mean, I'm not an expert deer hunter or anything, but I am familiar with terminology. And when there's one like coming off like this, it's called a drop tine. I don't know. Yeah, so this is my idea, and I've got a couple pieces of wood already glued together, which I use that to do. Sanded them down flat. As you can see, it's pretty seamless. I mean, there's no seam. You can see the seam right here. You can see the seam. Of course, you can see the seam right there because it's. But like that is pretty seamless. Yeah. So that's walnut and Osage orange, and this one I did 3. I got 3 going on here. Osage orange, walnut, and the top is just a piece of white oak. A little strip of white oak I had laying around. So that's my idea. Take oh yeah, this is a fun little piece. Fun little antler. Of course, cut this off, you know. But it kind of curves, has a double curve there. We had a tornado, reports of a tornado touchdown fairly close around here. Oh, if I don't know where. I haven't heard exactly where it touched down, but I heard that it was in Edgar Springs. Some of you locals might know. I don't know, not for sure. But I work in Vida, which is out towards Edgar Springs, south of Rolla, Missouri, and it got like the sky. I mean, it wasn't blue. It was like a teal color. And I work in a big tin building, so there's a guy that works there. We went to his house, and it's on the property. So we went down to his basement and hung out there for 20 minutes. So, but kind of exciting. I love storms. It's thundering off in the background. It's been a pretty good spring for the Ozarks here. Pretty nice. So that's kind of all I got going on for Tampers right now. I have some ideas to do some Tampers. I want to do, now these are Tampers that I haven't seen before, and I'm sure that they're probably, again, everything's been done. There's nothing new under the sun. Great. You know, it's what it is. But I've never seen them done, and they just came to mind, so I'm thinking that it would be cool. I want to do a Tamper that looks like a finger. You know, get the Dremel out and just kind of rough shape it. You know, just make like a dowel rod pretty much on the lathe, and then get the Dremel out, and you know, make the knuckles. Whoops, make the knuckles and you know everything. But then kind of leave a flat thing. You know, a little flat tamping spot, and it won't have a dowel pick on it. It'll just be more of a novelty Tamper. But that's actually one of the first novelty Tampers that I wanted to make, because you see a lot of people, you know, they're smoking. It's easy. Why not just tamp it with your finger? But I think it'd be cool, and I'm going to do it eventually. That's going to take a lot of time though. And I want to do a lighthouse Tamper. You know, looks like a lighthouse. I think that would be cool. It's kind of already the shape. Just fashion it up. I don't know if I would paint something like that. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. And a katana, like a little sword. You know, a little sword Tamper. Whoop, the blade would be the dowel pick, and the handle, you know, would be the Tamper. And I've thought about getting, a little strip of steel to put in there for the blade. I don't know yet. I'm still playing with that idea, but these are the three tampers that they just kind of came to me, and I want to do them. Those are on my mind, so maybe, hopefully, be on the lookout for those. Or maybe a dado. Dado, right? Dado. Is that the wooden samurai, the practice sword? Anyway, just ideas. One of these days I'm gonna curl my mustache out. I got my mustache in, it's pretty long. They're nothing like Virginia Piper. That dude has got one sweet stash curl going on, and I want to do that. I played around with it here, but I don't have the courage to do it out in public, but I might do it for you guys. So anyway, something else I wanted to show. This little guy. Little pipe I made. I think the stem, I just bent the stem tonight, and the stem is bent too much. It puts it about like that. It's more than I wanted. I wanted a little bit more than that. But it's not a sitter. It's not heavy enough to be a sitter. I think to be a sitter, it would have to be like that, because it's this is some of the briar that I got from Sea Smoke Pipes. He blessed me with a couple small. I think he said they're Algerian briar, which smokes fine. I've got a couple Algerian pipes. Well, briar pipes, but they're plateaued. And if you don't know, the plateau is, it's like the gnarly stuff on top. And I left this plateaued. And I wanted it to look, unfinished and just pretty rough looking. But man, really, this pipe came out better than what I thought. I took a brass wire brush to it. But it's for my wife, Miss Tamper. She can't wait to have a pipe. Celebrate the birth of our son in about a month, and she wanted me to make her one out of the Osage orange, and I don't know that I have the material to do that. I was blessed to get the pipe that I made out of it, but I don't think I have big enough stock left. Like I have, I cut like a 3 to 4 foot section years ago, and some of it's the log. I wouldn't say it's a log, more like a branch or a stick, but it's checked in a lot of places. It's cracked in a lot of places, and it's just not. It's good for tampers. It's good for cutting, little squares, 3/4 by 3/4 little rods out of it, but I don't think it'd be good enough for a pipe. I have cut a couple pieces down trying to get some, and I kind of wasted some. Not that my wife's not wasting wood over, but I mean, if it's just not possible, it's not possible. I'm not going to keep cutting down the pipe. And she's cool. She's fine. So I asked her what kind of pipe she'd want, and she gave me an idea. She showed me a pipe, and I was like, okay, I think I got one that you'd like. She wanted one kind of boxy, but a small bowl, because she's not a big bowler. She's not a big baller. Anyway, all right. Well, just wanted to show you that. That's all I got going on. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make the dottle pick without this guy. I mean, it still turns on, it still turns. I haven't taken it apart and looked at what's going on, because, the sprocket right here, it turns the whole belt. And if that whole top belt, the table moves, then I don't want it to mess something up. And I don't know how it's connected. you know, to the disc and everything, because the disc moves, the belt moves. You know, it's all one motor, you know, driven. It's not like there's a you can turn one off and on. You can't turn the disc off and have the belt on, the belt off and have the disc on. So I think I'm going to take it apart and see what's going on. I might be able to have one and not the other, but don't really have, you know, a couple $100 to go drop on a belt and disc combo sander right now. But anyway, I do have several Tampers made up, and I have these antler Tampers, the idea, and that's not gonna take that, although it would make it a lot easier. Man, this thing makes life easy. Makes life easy. The Dremel will work. With the Dremel, you can burn wood pretty quick, especially this hard of wood. You can burn it pretty quick. Like, leave black marks on it, and those, you know, sometimes it goes layers deep into the wood and it's hard to get out. So anyways, okay. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Tamper Talk. I am your host, The Bearded Tamper. And I will leave a link. My wife put together a beautifully fantastical website. And we do have Tampers on there, and it links to the Facebook page, and it links to Instagram, and you know, it's got our information on it, any information that you would want. So I'm gonna leave the link to the website down in the sawdust pile, and check it out. You guys go check out my wife's handiwork. Blessings. Later, YouTube. Me too.